All right. Checking. What's going on? Hope everyone having a good Sunday. Happy Sunday to everyone. I know some churches probably closed due to this COVID-19. And if you go to a mega church or anything, if they into technology, they probably live streaming it. And daily devotions is something key here. Just been doing a 90-day reading the Bible challenge. I felt like that was really cool. And I'm on like day 5 right now, book of Exodus. And one of the good things about this is that you got to have a plan on it, and pray about it, and just have an interest of learning more about the Word of God. So during these tough times right now, people may be out of work, and maybe till April, kids are back at home, and kind of forced to be with your family. But that should be a good thing, regardless of what type of relationship you have with them. And I was just talking to my mother about that. We don't know how long we're going to be on this earth. Our days are limited, but only thing we can do is just cherish the lives that we do have with one another. So that's a very a key thing that we got to really consider. But I'll really start saying this too. So for Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, we're gonna go into detail about her. Now, people was talking about her attire and everything. I'm not gonna be on here. It's just really discussing mainly her attire, and have those long baggy dress pants, and people wear sneakers too. Why they wearing like this type of dress clothes? But people say she just came out from the Burlington Coat Factory. I was just thought it was crazy. Carcino was talking about that. I was like, oh man. But so I want to get on here and showing some light, basically showing some a little bit of information here. Just give me a second. Probably gonna share some news here. So I believe she started like a program right now to bail out, maybe to help send up a loan program basically for restaurants. As you know, Chicago, especially downtown Chicago area, it's a huge touring place, and people love going to the Cheesecake Factory. Have one of the best gourmet popcorns. It's a good place there. Downtown they attract a lot of people. The Chicago White Sox play down there. I believe the Blackhawks do too as well. And this is something big here. This is something big that we really had to consider. So Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, man, despite her suit and everything, but she really doing something, I guess, for the community right now. So you got this $1 million program loan for restaurants to bail them out. So you have a lot of waitress and owners there. They're losing a lot of money, but this could potentially help them during this crisis here. And I just felt like this is something that we might need to report here. So let me go ahead and share this. Thanks for everyone who's tuning in. I really appreciate that. Let's go. Okay. Lori Life. Okay. Let's see. Assures residents access to food services, Chicago food supply. Okay. Let me see. Non-essential businesses will close up shop Saturday for the next couple weeks. Okay. As Illinois joins 3 other states will stay at home. We might have to play this video real quick, see what they're talking about.
I'd like to thank our city nonprofit.
I'm not going to play this whole, it's like 9 minutes long, but.
For joining us this morning and for their outstanding, let me say that again, for their outstanding support during this crisis. There's no mistaking it. These are unprecedented times. As you heard yesterday from both Governor Pritzker and myself, the state of Illinois will be under a stay-at-home order beginning at 5 p.m. this afternoon until April 7, 2020. As a reminder, this means that residents will be ordered to stay in their homes except for essential travel. Here in Chicago, this is what this means. Let me say at the outset, this is not martial law by any means. Residents can still go to their grocery stores, food banks, convenience stores, and make pharmacy runs. And also, people can continue to go and patronize their neighborhood restaurants for pickup. I want to stress there's absolutely no need for people to rush to the grocery stores or hoard any food or supplies. We are in constant communication with major retailers to maintain a strong food supply, and they have and they will. Everything will remain stocked and available, and I will speak more on this in a moment. In addition to food, banks, hardware stores, plumbers, and laundry services will also maintain operations. Utilities will halt shutoffs and late fees. Chicago roads will be open, and our CTA transportation will be running, and private services like Uber, Lyft, and other rideshare are up and operational. I want to give a special note of thanks to the men and women of the Amalgamated Transit Union and all CTA workers for their sacrifice and service during this time. I also want to emphasize that residents are permitted to take walks outside. My wife and I took a walk this morning, a little brisk, but good for the soul. Just want to make sure that you maintain safe social distancing. I also want to remind everyone that essential city services will continue. First and foremost, our hospitals, clinics, and healthcare facilities are open and treating patients. And again, I will try to say this every single time I'm in public. We must commend the fearless healthcare workers who are sacrificing themselves every single day in protection of the public. Thanks to the men and women who are out there every single day, making sure that our healthcare system remains vibrant and strong. Also, our first responders, police, fire, paramedics, call takers and dispatchers, garbage, sanitation, as well as our city staff, will continue working around the clock as we address this challenge and flatten the curve to get our lives back to normal. Nonetheless, there will be changes. And we've been dealing with those changes all along this week. So the governor's order yesterday really is in line with what we've been advising and what we've been practicing in the city. In addition to closing bars and nightclubs, entertainment venues, and restaurants for dining in, any business not essential must cease all activity with the exception of minimum basic operations unless you can operate at home. The city of Chicago will be closing its libraries, parks facilities, and community centers. And we are fully aware of the challenges that this places on communities and residents from every walk of life. However, these actions are needed to halt the spread of COVID-19 and support the dedication and sacrifice of our healthcare workers. They're out there supporting us, so it's our job to stay at home to support them. Tomorrow, my office, in partnership with Sitter City, will launch a new program to help Chicago's most essential workforce, healthcare workers, first responders, and the teams that support them. This is intended to help them find reliable childcare that will allow them to continue their work on behalf of the city amid this COVID-19 crisis. Finally, I call upon everyone to please remember to check in on your neighbors, especially the elderly and those with medical needs. I've said this before and it bears repeating. While this may be a time of physical isolation, we still need to be bonded together as a community. And one of the most important things is doing check well-beings on our friends, families, and our neighbor, and particularly those people that we know in our network that are vulnerable, that may be isolated, and will need just a little bit of support from a friendly voice on the other end of the phone. Please don't forget to do that. It's critically important in this time. I would now like to share some additional information about our food supply. In addition to grocery stores, food banks and convenience stores remain open. I would also like residents to know that CPS will continue to provide packages of food to families in need. Offering free packages of food that contain 3 days worth of meals for every child in a household. Food can be picked up between 9 and 1 p.m. every weekday during the stay-at-home order at the CPS location nearest to each student. And that means you can go to any location that's convenient for you, not necessarily your home school. Meanwhile, we are working together in collaboration with these folks, the Salvation Army, the Greater Chicago Food Depository, and the Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of Chicago to ensure food access for all Chicago residents who may be in need during this COVID-19 crisis. Specifically, the Salvation Army's Metro Division Emergency Disaster Services will be providing mobile feeding services and are able to prepare 75,000 meals in 48 hours. Residents and families can also utilize the Greater Chicago Food Depository's network of agencies and programs. Their benefits outreach team is also available by phone to help Chicagoans apply for SNAP or Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program and Medicaid benefits. Please take advantage of that service. For benefits outreach, Chicagoans can call 773-843-5416. 773-843-5416 on Mondays through Fridays between 8:30 p.m. to 8:30 a.m. and 5 p.m. or apply directly with the Illinois Department of Human Services. And let me just say, with respect to the Salvation Army and the Greater Chicago Food Depository, man, oh man, are they stepping up to help. They need your help. If you want to volunteer, go on the website of either of these organizations. The time is now to step up and help them because they are helping us.
Okay, stop that right here. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, she says really not like, martial arts, a lot of things here. Still kind of limited as far as like, the average Chicago resident to go in here to access food and services though. But said, like I said, the new order will take effect at 5 p.m. Saturday night till April 7th. Essential for travel. But good thing is grocery stores, food banks, convenience stores, pharmacies, like they said, neighborhood restaurants for pickups, banks is important. I don't think they would close down banks has to be something that crazy. Hardware stores, plumbers, laundry services. The plumbing, that's extremely important because what about someone's furnace go out or, somebody always needs some work done. One of the auto shops, that's going to be open too, but if you're not, they feel like if people not going to really be outside like that, it's not going to be too essential. But shouts to the healthcare workers out here, man. Seriously, man, they putting their stuff at risk. And it could be anyone coming into that emergency department saying, I got the COVID-19, and you don't even know if they serious or not, or they just want to get in the back and start some mess or controversy or be another statistic. It's a lot of people that's that may be going through some type of mental disability or anything, and they probably going to take this advantage of like the people who actually have the coronavirus, and then it might overwhelm the hospital. So, I'm pleading for and praying for the hospital workers and healthcare workers, whether you're a PCA or a nurse aide or a midwife, nurse, doctor, transportation. If you work any type of medical field, this is very critical here because, I mean, I know like in Michigan, they have the EMTLA, so they can't, regardless if you have health insurance or not, if it's a severe emergency, they have to treat you, The only difference is, I mean, they just got to find a way to bill you, but they still have to treat you like as if you have full health coverage, health insurance. And it can be overwhelming, and that's the thing I pray about, man, because you go in there to take care of the sick, but at the same time you try not to get sick, even though your body may be vulnerable, so you got to take the safety precautions. But the crime, even Gavin Newsom was the governor of California, and he was saying that like the crime kind of went down so far, and he issued like 40 million residents to stay at home, and I was just like, dang, 40 million residents at home. I mean, Beverly Hills, you got Los Angeles. I mean, pretty much the whole state itself is just literally shut down in this particular moment, And next day, if you find out, if they find out, or, National Guard, whatever, they see you out there, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You can't even, I don't think you can get like really a fresh air unless you go in your backyard or something like that. Not even have any gatherings. You can't have like more than 20 people or 30 people in your household, stuff like that around your house. For no reason, no barbecue, cookouts, none of that type of stuff. You'll even find up to $1,000 or maybe 6 months of imprisonment. You gotta consider that. They said this is in city of Chicago, Illinois. They said liquor stores are considered essential business, so they remain in operation. Yeah, liquor stores are open. So a home repair, emergency supply places like Menards. Okay, it's just basically essential stuff, man. I mean, grocery store, boom, you back at the house. Literally, that's it. And they kind of encourage people to work from home, but most like you work in construction, a lot of jobs, man, like 60% of them is require you to actually go out there in public. They can't really transition to working at home, stuff like that. Even like teachers, they may have to like in this meantime, like, dang, to keep up this money. I don't know, some of them are salary, but they have to like do some online schooling. and teach your kids that way. It's something critical, man. Something that's kind of hit us in a rear end here, man, and we just gotta find a way to respond. We're responding as we go. But the only thing is that this whole virus is continuously rising. I believe it's over like the Pentagon never said it was like over 18,000 people who died from it in the U.S. right now, or cases like that in the U.S. 18,000 people is growing rapidly, man. Just the essential things: washing hands, practicing social distancing. That's why I made that video so critical to me about young kids, young people just going to Miami South Beach, and they just ignoring all the safety precautions of the virus. you know. Volunteers here. I see Lori Lightfoot. She's doing everything she can. I mean, that's what you can as a mayor. You representation of one of the biggest cities in America. You know, Salvation Army, Metropolitan Division of Mercy Disaster Services will provide mobile feeding services. So, okay, she stayed at 75,000 meals within 48 hours. People who's in the city of Chicago and state of Illinois, man, or each state right now, this will be a perfect opportunity to do some volunteering. And the reason why I say that is that yeah, you might have to wear a mask. Just see what's going on, man. If you want to kind of be essential to your community. If you feel like you're bored, you have nothing to do at home, I mean, you feel unproductive, I feel like, going out into the community and helping out those that is in need. This is a perfect thing. Talk to your city commissioner. I don't know if you can really go down and have meetings with them because of this virus, but I'm pretty sure it's a public phone number that she even stated, and see what you can do. Kind of put yourself in out of that comfort zone if you want to go in here and help. That's what I feel like, because thing is, out of mind is Satan's playground, man. At the end of the day, and you don't want to just kind of just not doing anything in the way, and then go depressed and stuff like that, and you go into bad habits. Use this time to, if you want to start something like a dream or business or anything, the guys, the whole world's pretty much shutting down. You go ahead and just do a lot of self-reflecting. If it's cooking, if it's any little talent that you want to do, I feel like this is a more perfect opportunity to do so. And think about it too, man. I mean, if you don't have to work for a while, you don't have to worry about waking up too much early in the morning, unless you got like a family or so, you're doing homeschooling, you got any other type of things going on. But use this time as wisely here. Like I said before, did the 90-day reading Bible challenge. I think that's cool. That's key. Learning more about it. It's just funny how every time you open that book, you kind of read and understand a little bit more, and you put things in a different perspective. I mean, stuff that's going on right now, like all of this, like the locusts, and that was happening in Africa, man. You like, wow, kind of reminds you when God had those plagues and to Egyptian Pharaoh when he was trying to free the people of Israel from bondage. I mean, all these things might have to come to pass, but I really want to go and take this in consideration like this. You do not worry. Please do not worry. Especially for those who are Christians who believe in Christ, man. You can't worry in these things, but the only thing you can do is prepare, right? So, that's it, man. It's just loving your families, man. Checking on your families, those that may be in need, and just educate yourself with what's going on in your state. Literally, that's all you have to do. Worrying does not do anything for you at the end of the day here. So you gotta kind of understand that, man. It can be rough. It's gonna be hard, but at the same time, I feel like you have a nice, good community building with people, man. Your neighbors. You can collectively fight this, and you could be mentally sane. I just kind of want to read this verse here, one of my favorites, when it says, Matthew 6:28 says, "So why do you worry about clothing? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow, and they neither toil nor spin." Right. What is this one? Oh yeah. Therefore I say to you, there we go. Matthew 6:25. Therefore I say to you, do not worry about your life, what will you eat or what would you drink, nor about your body, what would you put on. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothing? Look at the birds of the air, for they neither sow nor reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not more valuable than they are? So, when you come to these trials and everything, and sorrows, when Jesus Christ was talking about in the Sermon on the Mount, I mean, it's just that, don't worry about the basic necessity of things, especially if you believe in Christ. I mean, everything is going to be, it will be given to you. Yeah, you got to take in maybe you have to, put some action in. And yes, it's important to stock on some things and stuff like that. I'm not saying like if you starve and just go ahead and pray, but in these type of things, God will always make a way when you're at your low point. That's the whole pretty much gist of this. And just keep that in mind. Consider pure joy when you face trials of many kinds, right? It's the developing of perseverance in your faith, right? It's all a test. So it's me looking at this, man, just researching about this. I'm probably gonna click on another video here. We'll see what they're doing. Said Chicago Public School systems continue to provide food packages for families. Pickup contain 3 days of meal for each child in the household. The service is available from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Let's check this out.
With the state of Illinois falling quiet tonight, the number of workers sidelined without pay grows, meaning more people may struggle to put food on the table.
We are never, ever going to be broken. We will get through this together and grow stronger as a result.
Mayor Lori Lightfoot and city partner organizations today sharing multiple ways Chicagoans can get food assistance during this COVID-19 uncertainty.
People who are already living paycheck to paycheck, I say to you, we will get through this. The Salvation Army is here.
The Salvation Army ramping up supply to have 75,000 meals ready in just 2 days. Catholic Charities, the United Way, and the Greater Chicago Food Depository also pitching in. The Greater Chicago Food Depository buying more food, packaging thousands of grab-and-go meals so families can better maintain social distancing. Residents like Elizabeth Taylor relying on the donations to pantries like Care for Real.
Cuts in income, cuts in hours, just cuts in resources. So this place is dependable.
The mayor reminding CPS families that all Chicago public schools will continue offering free packaged meals weekdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The mayor also sharing that the city's community COVID-19 response fund has already raised $13.5 million, some of that going to food assistance.
Okay.
The most important thing is at this point is to care for one another.
And with Illinois essentially shut down, at least through April 7th, the Greater Chicago Food Depository says it expects demand to increase, meaning donations are as important as ever.
Yeah. Wow. That's good. That's really good. I'm going to. All right. Okay. Well, I want to go into what is that, Omari? All right. Now, I think this is key here. Now the reason why I want to get into this brother here, shout out to him, Omari Hardy. So he was one of the city commissioners for Lakewood, Lake Beach, Florida, whatever. And the mayor is finding ways to cut off the supplies. She should cut off like pretty much the power of the citizens, the residents there. And and it's really sad when you have a pandemic out here. He wanted to set up an emergency meeting. They didn't even want to have an emergency meeting anyway, but they ended up coming down to it, and they're talking about a whole bunch of other stuff. But the people that was actually suffering from this pandemic because they don't have access to electricity, you can't cook, you can't clean, you can't do a lot of things without that. And then this is probably the worst thing. All you care about is the utility companies to get paid. But what about the hardworking class citizens, that maybe don't have the extra money in this particular moment right now? How come you can't suspend that? And that was his biggest thing. He was like, "Oh, I don't have 5 minutes to talk and all this stuff." And he was like, he just kind of went off. And I commend that brother for that, man. You have to stand up for the righteous here. Maybe see Omari Hardy. He went off on this, man. But he said things got heated last night, but I don't grab one word. We couldn't direct the city manager to stop the shutoffs last week. Yeah, it's ridiculous. When I requested an emergency meeting for that purpose, the mayor said no. Yep. Let's see, this went viral though. But things got really heated, man. See if they play the video here. Well, this probably just a picture. But that's the brother right there, Commissioner Hardy. Yeah. There's an ad here. I can't watch no ad right now. Let me see.
can we do better? There's always things that pop up that we can do better on, and I call the question.
I'm sorry, that's not how this works. We each have an opportunity to speak 5 minutes.
I thought we did.
Yeah, the question's
No,
been called.
I'm sorry.
We've been
City
That's not how calling the question works. You need a second and you need to vote on
Did
it.
I have a second for calling
So
the
are you
question?
telling me that you're going to keep me from talking right now?
You've talked all evening.
Look here. You're calling me disrespectful because I've interrupted people, but this gentleman has turned off people's lights in the middle of a global health pandemic. That's what that gentleman did.
Point of order.
And you think I'm disrespectful for interrupting you?
Point of order.
This gentleman has
Point
had the
of
ability to do
order.
any number of things.
Point
We
of
could have
order.
banned large gatherings. We could have closed the beach. We could have put a moratorium on
I recessed the
Yeah.
meeting.
shut-offs.
I recessed.
Also not within your power, and the attorney has held that that's true.
I recessed the meeting.
You came up with new rules at the beginning of the meeting, and then you didn't even want to follow the rules that you came up with.
And you took advantage.
This is a banana republic, is what you're turning this place into with your so-called leadership.
Does a recess mean that we will be,
Yes.
Camera on that?
I don't care anything
You got
about
a
this.
camera on that?
I don't care anything about this.
does
We
the-
should have been talking about this last week.
can we,
We cut off people's utilities this week and made them pay what could have been their last check to us to turn their lights on in the global health pandemic. But you don't care about that, and you didn't want to meet. But every other year, you go around and beg people for their votes.
can we explain
But
the
you care
reason?
more about your relationship with that guy than you care about the relationship with the people who don't go to work in this building.
Order, you were done. You're done.
Dang.
You're done. Disrespect.
It's disrespectful is what you've done to the working people in the city.
I didn't do anything.
You failed to act.
I didn't.
When you're a leader, you failed to act. You said you didn't do anything. You failed to act when you had an opportunity.
Party proceed.
I don't care anything about that. You think anybody cares?
Does a recess mean that we can reconvene tonight or, okay,
Man.
is that in 5 minutes or,
It's when the chair comes back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it, man. That's deep right there, bro. Man. I mean, because it could have been they could have improvised that a little bit, man. You shutting people's stuff down. I mean, prior utilities, that's extremely important. But then again, too, he realized too, like, hey, you always begging for votes all the time, and you want to pretty much get the people on your side in these type of things, but you're not helping them out in their day-to-day lives. It's a really sad situation, man. I'm glad that Omari Hardy he spoke up on that, man, because you need a lot of politicians, man. They say what you want to hear, but the action speaks differently. It's ridiculous, man. So this is something a little revolutionary what the brother did, man. It's very brave. I'm pretty sure. I hope he continuously makes some changes, man, after this pandemic is over. If he can get to a higher position, and I'll just be in a city commissioner, maybe run for Congress or something like that, man. Because people, we need. You guys want our votes, but at the end of the day, man, when you see things like this, you have our backs, like far as like these pandemics type of stuff. I mean, you Lake Worth Beach, you cutting off the utilities of people that can barely afford, the electricity, and families are in need of that, but you won't want that to happen to you. It's just kind of sad, man, situation here. It's a lack of community building there, and you wonder why, people don't really want to go out and vote and advocate for real changes here, because that's like, what's the point of this? What is it, man? I mean, at the end of the day, they keep saying the same stuff over and over again, year after year after year. It's nothing in this pretty much improving. I want to read this. It said only after Florida Governor Ron DeSantis issued an executive order closing the beaches, most dining restaurants, Palm Beach County, announced it would begin to close off access to the beach, which Hardy said receives around 2,800 visitors daily. 2,800 visitors daily, bro. And they just now closing down the beaches, though. It's just kind of crazy. And he said this is something we should have talked about last week, so we can just permit from the viruses to going out here and affecting a lot of people, man. Because people are gonna do what they want to do, so you just have to force, these type of changes here. But like I said, I commend Hardy on this. Not gonna ramble on too much. But I mean, these people need to enact some changes, man. It's something crazy going on right here. But I'm sorry sharing this. So I'm probably gonna start ending this now. But thank you guys for tuning in. I just kind of want to report that, sharing my thoughts on it and with the whole coronavirus thing. So just be guarding with your families. Though some people may have to go to work next week or whatever, just like I said, just stock on food and water, all these type of things. The best things that you can do. Look at some other places that people are not gathering essential supplies. Because I know going to Walmart and other supermarkets may be a little bit difficult, but yeah. So that's all I really have to say, man. It's your boy Young Link Jr. You guys continue to like, comment, subscribe, share this video. I really appreciate you guys taking the time out your day to look at this, man. But yeah, we can do better, man. As a people, we can, So just collectively get our minds right, do some self-reflecting, and let's see how this goes to next month or whatever, man. But more updates is going to be coming soon. You guys take care.